I quite agree. It's high time I did a Glenfarclas on this channel, and I could have gone in easy and gone with a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. What I've actually done instead is gone with their 60% ABV one. So I'm asleep tonight. This is Glenfarclas 105. I don't have a full bottle of this because, as you might be expecting by now, it's in a teensy tiny little bottle. New sample providers, the Sample Guys, nice catchy name. It's not sponsored or anything, it's just where I bought it from, that's all. There's loads of options out there at the minute because of the times in which we live. Loads of pubs were doing samples, and then they all kind of stopped, which made me sad, because I was like, oh great, a way to support, and we're done. Okay, well, never mind. Yeah, that was my little thing on samples. So, as you might have noticed, I've already poured this whiskey because I'm not a maniac. Well, I am, but I wanted to give this one a chance to breathe because get the feeling it's gonna blow my wig off. So we'll approach it with caution. Okay, that's enough of the pantomime, isn't it? What do I know about the 105? I did a little bit of reading. One of the great things about the internet is you don't necessarily need me to tell you it. They were one of the first cask strength whiskies out there, which is fun. They were launched in the 60s, and according to Master of Malt, a load of people on the internet really liked it in 2004 because the year 2004 is really relevant in the year 2021. So, you know. Ooh. Ooh, oh, okay, a fair bit going on. Hang on, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Interesting. It's reminding me of a lot of herbs, specifically rosemary and thyme, kind of like roasting herbs. You know, it's like there's like a pepperiness to it, but it's not. It's like a vegetal pepper. Yeah. And there is a sweetness, but it's quite a. It's an odd sweetness, in that normally when you get a sweetness, it's either kind of like a very obvious fruit, or it's, you know, more often than not things like caramel or toffees, or, you know, variants along that theme. This isn't that. Do you know what? Is it? Yeah, alright. I'm going to say sweet sop. A few of you in the comments are probably going to be like, what? And a few of you in the comments are going to be like, what? Yeah, custard apples. Or rather, the problem with custard apple is it's a word, well, it's a name, isn't it? Wow. It's a name. And it refers to several different genuses of fruit, but the particular one that I'm talking about is, it sort of looks like a scaly grenade. And one of the more... Is it fair to say custard apples are available in the UK? You can get your hands on them the most easily. I'm a little bit spoilt for produce being in Edinburgh because, you know, we're old hipsters here. But yeah, I'm going for that. It's got like it has a floral vegetal sweetness about it, which if you've had a sweet sop that's maybe not quite as ripe as you would have liked it, that's the kind of sweetness we're talking. It's a very specific one, but you know what? It's not the easiest sort of sweet thing to pick out of a whiskey, so I'm sticking with it because it's my show and fuck all of it. No, come back, please. Yeah, because it's got that kind of like fragrance of if nature tried to make caramel, which is basically what a custard apple is, to be honest, because, I mean, they are good fruits. They're not good for you. They're actually quite high in calories for something calling itself an apple, but... Oh, you're going to think I've gone completely mental. Silverside beef. Bear with me on this one. See, now I've said it, I can't get it out of my head. I really wanted to redact that and be like, no, don't be stupid, that's... But... yeah. Right, there is a... there's a savoury note that is reminding me of, like, carvery meats, specifically beef. and not in a bad way. I want to stress that it's not an off scent that I'm getting from it. It's actually quite appealing. It's giving it kind of like an interesting savoury note. But it is kind of silverside beef. Specifically, I don't know why specifically silverside, other than I think we had it a lot for Sunday lunch when we all realised that my mum was a great baker. Her cooking left something to be desired. Because she was so terrified of anything like poisoning you, she would, specifically like meat, she would cook it within an inch of its life and then keep cooking it for another 3 hours. I grew up thinking that all meat was terrible. She nearly made me a vegetarian because of how bad her like roast cooking was. Once we started getting like slices from the supermarket, I was like, I thought you said this is beef. Like, it is beef. But it's not, it's not like trying to eat a shoe. What is this? You know, if anyone's ever overcooked beef, you'll know exactly. It's that horrible, like dry, stringy. Yeah, there's a lot of gravy in our house because you needed it. Yeah, I'm doubling down on beef. There is a beefy element to this. I need help. This just gets weirder and weirder. It's the kind of weird that's making me smile because it's lovely, but at the same time, just kind of like nothing like what I was expecting based off of the nose. This. Okay. Okay, so we're getting beef on the nose and we're getting butterscotch angel delight on the palate. And that's merging with, I'm going to say basil, white pepper, a little bit of like a bourbon vanilla kind of a thing as well. It's lovely, but it's mad. It's all over the place. It's an adventure. You can tell it's an excellent whiskey because I just remembered that this is 60%. And I was like, oh yeah, this is 60%. Huh. Well, with it being 60% and having lost my mind, it would appear, we need to add some water. Which is, oh no, just spilt water all down myself. Oh, I need to get a side table or something because I've got a very wet knee now, just in case I wasn't having a weird enough day. Do you know what, I'm going to give it a bit more. Because, I mean, I got a fair bit, so the whiskey may as well join my fate. I think it can handle it, to be honest, because it's strong flavoured. I am drenched. Get in there. Get in the thing. Hello. You're my only source of happiness at the minute. Should quickly explain the cat is out at the minute, otherwise it would be sharing that, but as it is. That got a bit dark really, didn't it? Hey ho. Some people like to watch YouTube to help pick them up and be cheerier. And then there's whatever the fuck you lot are all doing. Mind you, I suppose Game of Thrones and the Chernobyl miniseries are all popular, and they're not exactly feel-good films, are they? Films? They're TV series, John. I'm so glad this isn't a live stream right now. Okay, the nose, when you've had a little bit of water, the beef goes away. It's replaced with like a caramel, kind of like a caramel, white chocolate, heavily sweetened. I'm actively looking for the herbal notes that I got before, and I'm not finding them, but I am finding something quite floral in its place. Which reminded me a little bit of like, if you like, a few doors down from freshly blooming hyacinths. That like lovely perfume tang that they've got. I love the smell of hyacinths. I think they're one of the best smelling flowers out there. Sorry to all other flowers that might be watching this, but up your perfume game. Especially you tulips, what do you think you're doing? With the additional water it does get a little bit more one-dimensional, which is a risk. Yeah, I'm struggling to find those herbal notes. There is a little bit of like a salinity on the nose now. Oh, here we go. black tea, builder's tea specifically, quite tannic. Maybe left the tea bag in for a bit too long, either accidentally or deliberately because you're a man and real men drink bad tea. I don't really know how that one works, to be honest. Masculinity is weird. And then as it develops, there is a little bit of like a fresh, sort of like the zest of an orange. Yeah, goes a little bit bright. So there's a bit going on. Those herbal notes have gone, as has the beef. So it no longer smells like Sunday roast, essentially. Although, you know, again, Sunday roast now just kind of tastes like fire and sadness. But anyway, let's see what it tastes like. What is going on? The flavour's gone savoury. What is happening? Seriously, what is happening? I've had a lot of strange drinks, and this is the one that breaks me? Maybe this was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know. What should I call this video? Mental breakdown live? Can you imagine? What am I getting here? There's like a vegetal pepperiness. It's reminding me of things like, do you know what? I'm going to say fennel. I'm going to say fennel. There is a bitter, savoury, umami flavour. Quite peppery, quite rich. There is a little bit of like almost saccharine sweetness coming in on the back, and I do mean saccharine, like those like sweetener pills. It's not the most pleasant sweetness that you could pick up on. I'm trying to like eke out a little bit more actually, because again, it's flipped, hasn't it? Okay, I wanted to really roll that around my palate, just to kind of like get my bearings with it properly, because I'm struggling a little bit with this one, aren't I? There is a briny tarriness coming through. There's like a slightly industrial funk about it. It's a little bit malty, a little bit sort of like a wholemeal bread, like a fresh baker's one, not like a, you know, sliced nonsense. I mean, no tea, no shade to sliced bread. I mean, one of my favourite sliced breads is Scottish Pride, so I mean, that says something about absolutely nothing. It's just bread. It's just bread. It's like a composite chocolate kind of a thing, sort of like a kind of a cocoa, faint sweet kind of thing. Not like, you know, proper good quality chocolate. It's kind of like the stuff that they cover a Butterfinger in. You know, it's kind of like milky and creamy, and there's like a chocolate flavour, but you're also like, something a little bit odd about this, but I don't quite know what, and the answer is it's not completely chocolate. And it does get a little bit vegetal. The development is pretty remarkable. It goes through a lot of different phases, and the finish lingers. And the finish that you get is like this saccharine sweetness mixed with a little bit of a vegetal tone, a little bit cabbagey. I've had a lot of tasting notes on this that I've never had on anything I've tried before. And part of me is just kind of like, am I awake? Like, am I awake right now? Is this happening? This was nuts. Oddly enough, with no trace of nuts in here. Oh, actually, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Am I kidding? I'm kidding. But am I, though? Let me know down below, what do you think of Glenfarclas's whiskies, particularly the 105, but let me know down below as well if you've had different experiences with different ones. Talk about the 21-year-old and the 25-year-old as well, because they are frequently very reasonably priced. Are they worth it? Are they something to pass up on for something else? Let me know your thoughts down below. Thumb this video if you enjoyed it. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can subscribe, you can hit the thumb button, or there's even links down to Patreon, or you can join the channel for perks and other goodies. But for now, I will say thank you very much for watching. I need to lie down, but do join me next time where I'll be drinking something else.